Hi everyone, it is Switchress Shay AU LAIT, and I want to talk to you all about a product I've been using and that I love. I'm particular about my recommendations, and I've been using this one since February, and I even used it to help solve a problem recently. So, get a cup of tea or something because it may take me 15 minutes to share this. Yeah. Okay. So I found out about this product on Instagram while doing some market research on potential audience members that I want as my productions. At my productions, I thought about what might be products that they would use at my shows. And that's how I found this brand. And I followed them and thus began a conversation, which our first interaction led with them becoming a vendor and sponsor for Siren Pack's first fully produced show in Philadelphia, which was Primal. It's our all black trilogy burlesque series that we do. So this brand, it's called Touchy Feely. And this is where it lives when I'm not playing it or traveling with it. Right? It lives right on my bookcase. And so this might be some product placement. Like they didn't pay me for this. This is a God honest review of my stuff. Because also right next to it is my Speakeasy Noir candles that I make myself. And I actually love when Touchy Feely and my candles vend together. They go well because I make erotic massage oil candles, and Touchy Feely has a touch component, which might be paired well with my candles. Anywho, okay, so that's my candle right there that I have turned on. This is where the game lives. Touchy Feely. Now, the first thing that I noticed about Touchy Feely when I got my my box was the packaging. And it has a bag too, which I have stored somewhere else. Like every bit from me unpackaging it was a beautiful, luxurious experience. I loved all the branding. Like everywhere you turn, anything it says, I love. Satisfy your connection emotionally, sensually, and sexually simultaneously. I love the play on words and what it does to my mouth. It says designed for all adult relationship styles, no matter how new or seasoned. It's an intimacy trifecta card game. It's for partners, for lovers, for friends plus. That's helpful to know. Even when you lift it up, that inside, right? Because I think about every angle as a burlesque teacher and performer. When I give prompts, I talk about like your body at every angle, and I'm also a marketer, so I think of every angle. When I open it, why waste that? If your budget allows for you to print up there, do so. Snapple taught us well. Let Touchy Feely teach you. So it says guiding good talk, good touch, and good vibes. All of these like talking points I love as well. So it's a card game, right? And which we know these. Let me pause again. I'm gonna get up because I need to get something. I'm not gonna cut because I want you to see in real time. Hold on. Okay, back that quickly. So look, when I say I love card games, I love them. This is the original one that I think if you're gonna get any card game, well, before Touchy Feely, right? Because there's so many brands out there now. But before I met Touchy Feely, this was the series I recommended. It's and I don't even know how you pronounce that middle parentheses thing. And I have a pack of 4, right? It's also like a documentary. Follow them on YouTube, but this isn't about them because this is about Touchy Feely. Let me fucking sit this down. So I use card games and prompts and questions. I'm an interviewer. I'm a panelist. I'm a moderator. Like people talk about the way I ask questions. So I'm always looking for more card games. So I also loved that what sets her apart is that it's a card game, like with questions, there's questions, but after you ask questions, there's also pleasure mapping at the bottom, where you get to explore the person sensually with consent, with options and levels of comfort. There are all kinds of card games that I explore. I've never found one that combined the two, where it was the game prompt, the question prompt, and the pleasure mapping touch mixed together. That is amazing. I'm sure there's now going to be more card games that do that, but she's the first to set that standard. So let that be known. A Black woman set the standard of blending more activities on these intimacy prompts of the card games. There's also an emotional conversion, because I'm not going to explain how the card game works. You can follow her account to find out more. She puts out amazing content as well. So this card game has really interesting questions, and the purpose though is that the more you answer the questions being emotionally open and vulnerable, the higher your score is for the touch and pleasure mapping. So if you answer the question like avoid one word answers, but if you only answer like surface level 1, you may have a body part that you just caress because you only get a score of 1. But if you get a score of 2 because you're more emotionally open, you can massage the body part that you're consented or given permission to. Or if you get a score of 3, you can nibble it. If you get a score of 4, you can kiss it. If you get a score 5, you can improvise. Now, I would much rather always have the power to improvise and have the full range of options. So that would incentivize me to be more open as I answer the questions. So this game was profound. Between the combo of what it does and the amazing branding, like every angle thought of. I remember there was one time where I was like, man, I don't want to confuse the card levels and get them confused, like put them in the wrong slots, because there's 4 slots. But then I realized she has the cards like by their hearts. You saw how there was 1 heart on there. And then there's like 3 hearts on there. That's because those hearts coordinate with what level to put them back in. I was like, okay, cool. But you know what she could have done? The back of the cards, she could have made the conversion card that has the score a different color so it doesn't get lost in the, oh wait, she did make it a different color. Right? Each time I thought to critique her on something, not critique, but give her feedback, I realized she had already thought about it and taken care of. I just hadn't noticed just yet. So explore Touchy Feely, the intimacy card game based on the strength of your connection. The higher the level card, the more emotionally intimate the question, with more private erogenous zones at play. Fucking amazing. So just branding and more. So then, like I said, she sponsored a Siren Pack show, and she also vended the show. Several of my friends have purchased the game as well, like in my active life, because I'm always promoting. If you know me, you've heard me talk about this in real life. And so then the other thing that happened was that, so I went on a date. It was like a ambiguous kind of grayish date with a couple, which is so unlike me, right? I'm very direct and I know. And it's why I was when I thought back afterwards about what occurred, I realized I had been taken on a date by a couple. And I don't date couples. Like, I'm polyamorous, I'm pansexual, I'm queer, I'm kinky. I'm producing a play party coming up soon. And so I can do those things, but I still tend to stay away from couples for many reasons. But I was like, let me try this. But I was nervous because I had had interactions with one person in the couple, but I hadn't had interactions with the second person yet. And so when each pairing have different connections with each other, but now all 3 are coming together, like where I know I feel comfortable flirting with the one because we've done our due diligence to do it, but I hadn't done it with the second, but now we're kind of all together. I was like, how? There's going to be a sensual undertone to this experience, though I don't know how the night may progress, if it even progresses. So what do I do besides like be direct and have a conversation? I got awkward, right? So I was like, I threw this in my bag, like in my bag where I had like my flogger, my favorite perfume that I wear. It's in my bag from this morning. Even I threw this because I was like, this will help guide the conversation, because I hadn't even vetted or like checked out the person enough from afar to know how direct or not to be, or how intense or not to be in my flirtatious behavior. I was like, I can use the game to help me. And the game not only helps me have the conversation, but learn how to engage with them, since I already have a physical connection with the one. All that to say, it helped me so much. Like, it actually did. The awkwardness that I felt melted away. We even invited a fourth person to play the game with us. With the four of us, the game only went to 2 rounds, because then we dropped the card game and we were able to talk more freely. The person who I felt like I had the least connection with, they went on to engage more with the party and other people. I got to know other people. Like, this helped me move through the awkwardness. And I don't try to avoid awkwardness. I don't try to minimize it. It's a feeling that can occur too. And this helps to ease it. Or even if you know everything and things are great, it's just another prompt that can help. Or if you find yourself on an ambiguous date with a fucking like poly or swinger couple, like, and you're not quite sure what the fuck to do, the card game can help ease that. So I want to just give a shout out to Candace, the owner of this brand, who is phenomenal, to this game, which I think everyone should buy. Like, you can have multiple card games, but if you only could have one, it would be this one. I hope that this expands into expansion packs or more kinds, like how the other, not like how the other brands do. Change and shift, and bring a whole reckoning to the market. This is my favorite to date now. It like immediately bumps up to my #1 favorite card game as a BDSM educator and facilitator, as a performer, producer, teacher, as a sensualist, a switchress, a conversationalist. Hands down, my favorite so far. And also just great to work with on a business level as well. So if you also have a store, you have events, places that can carry the game or facilitate the game or vend the game, work with Candace. She's about her fucking business. That's my review of Touchy Feely, which actually it suits me just so, because I'm a burlesque dancer anyway, and it's about the striptease. This card game, it's like the burlesque of card games. And that's like high praise in my book. Bye, everyone.